He enjoys the neck scratches so much, as you can tell by his raised head and quivering lips, that I'm allowed to use them as a reward. And don't confuse this face and this high head and these expressions with him being uncomfortable, because there is a distinct difference, which you'll notice in the twitching around the mouth and lips, and the fact that he remains blinking while he's enjoying his scratches. Welcome to another video in Sundancer's journey from wild to willing partner. At the beginning of this session, you'll see how he joined me to start the session pretty much immediately. We've begun to establish a sense of care for one another. He knows that I'm going to only bring positive things into his life, so he's more than happy to spend time with me. And this is something that we need to keep in mind if we have a horse that runs from us in the pasture, or doesn't want to be caught, or isn't happy during training sessions. How can we make the sessions more enjoyable for that horse? And right here we see Sundancer step up and begin putting himself in position for me to touch along his left side, which is his least comfortable side. I'm not asking him to come forward here, but he did come forward and let me touch onto his back, which is fantastic. Right here he gets a little bit into enjoying these scratches. Notice he doesn't want to leave me on the left side when he's enjoying the scratches at this time. And right here, he does position me back on his right side where he's more comfortable. This is simply an indicator to me that we need to get him more comfortable on his left side. And right there, he moves around a little bit and finds the answer and targets my hand. And in this clip, you'll see his progress during the follow me exercise. We're going for longer durations and actually crossing the whole pin and having him follow. And right here, I'm back on Sundancer's right side, working on touching down his back. And you'll see he stands nice and calm while I touch down his back, so I reward him with neck scratches. He enjoys the neck scratches so much, as you can tell by his raised head and quivering lips, that I'm allowed to use them as a reward. And don't confuse this face and this high head and these expressions with him being uncomfortable, because there is a distinct difference, which you'll notice in the twitching around the mouth and lips, and the fact that he remains blinking while he's enjoying his scratches. And right here, he begins to enjoy his first back scratches, which is a great step to having him comfortable being touched anywhere on his body. And by the end of this session, I'm back to his left side, and he's once again positioning me further back onto his body than he ever has before, and stands there calmly. So this was a huge win in this session. In the beginning of our next session, Sundancer eagerly joins me, and you'll see as I stop here, I reward him for following me, and then he immediately positions himself and raises his head, asking me for neck scratches. He loves being scratched. Obviously, he doesn't have hands and can't do it himself. So he walked up and asked me for that, which is fantastic, because I don't have to completely start from just touching his face anymore. He has let me know that he's ready to begin starting with just touching his body. He's getting comfortable with me, so we're able to start at a further point rather than starting again with just touching my hand or me touching his face. However, I am still starting slow on the left side because I know that's his least comfortable side. So we might do a little bit of follow me. Right here, he's wanting to investigate me a little bit, so I'll just let him, and then we'll work into some scratches. Right there, he backed up, so I backed off, and immediately he decided not to leave, but rather to stay where he's at. And right here, I just decided to leave with him and see what he did. And he decided to smell me when I did that, which is great. Since I was able to step around to his side and pet him on his left, I decided to end this session on that great note. In the next session here, you can definitely tell that Sundancer is getting more comfortable with me being on his left side. Notice that I always start off up by his head, but I'm working on walking back towards his body. And you'll see during that repetition, his head level didn't go up at all, and we didn't see any stress indicators on his face. Right here, we had a slight lean, but he didn't go anywhere and immediately relaxed himself back down, which means that he's reminding himself, even though he's uncomfortable, that I'm safe and it's okay. And by the end of this session, I'm able to scratch his back several times in a row from the left side, meaning that he is getting super comfortable with me being on the left side, just like he is on the right side. And I also want to note that it's okay if your horse progresses faster on one side than the other. In horse training, everyone always says, work both sides equally, which yes, is true. However, if your horse is doing better and feeling more confident with you on the right side, it's important to work on that side and build up their confidence and only move at the speed that they are comfortable with you moving on their more uncomfortable side. Don't feel pressured to catch the left side up to the right side just because the saying of work both sides equally exists. It's about the individual horse and what makes them feel most confident and comfortable. Notice that even though he enjoyed the back scratches on the right side, I'm not scratching the left side just yet. We're going for just gentle touches still at this point. And since he's getting pretty comfortable with me on both sides now, I'm beginning to touch down his front legs in the progression that you've just seen. And with each repetition, I'll just touch further and further down until we're able to touch all the way down and then pick up his hooves. That's it for today's update, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Looking forward to it.